Patty Chan, and I'm from the Toronto Chinese Orchestra. And today I have with me Wendy. Wendy, can you tell us something about yourself?
Hi. I was originally from Vancouver, and I kind of came here for school about 2010-ish. And that's when I first met Patty here, and I joined Toronto Chinese Orchestra, and that ever since then I've been a member.
Great. And what do you play?
I play the pipa, or what people would call it, the Chinese lute, and I've been playing that since I was 5. The pipa is a member of the plug instrument. For people who doesn't know what Chinese instruments might look like, it looks like a guitar but played upright, and it's longer than a guitar, and it's heavier than a guitar. So that's the visualization. The spelling of the word pipa is Pipa.
Thanks. And what have you been doing during this time of social distancing?
Actually, I have been doing a lot of like back end work stuff because I am not a musician, full time musician by trade. I do teach and I do like teach music, and I also do like performing and stuff around Toronto, but that is only maybe 30% of my time. The other times I've work as a naturopathic doctor, and I see patients. So that's what I have been doing since this whole coronavirus and social distancing started.
So you've really been keeping busy. You're not just sitting around.
I have been sitting around for a while as well because we're under the mandate to actually only treat people who are essential services, and that's how we define it as like people who will get worse or have to maybe like go to the ER if they're not getting medical care. So those are only type of people we can actually allow to treat. So my volume of patients has definitely lessened since the coronavirus started, but that's okay because there's tons of things. Being an entrepreneur and having your own business, there is tons of things to do behind the scenes, and I actually welcome the break.
That's great. Well, what you've been with TCO for like 10 years then, almost 10 years.
Right? Almost 10
So,
years.
what made you decide to stay with TCO and just stick it out for 10 years?
Yeah, so TCO has always been a community, right? So it's a bunch of people who have a common interest, a love for music, a love for Chinese music to be more specific. And sometimes, um, I'm sure like tons of people will relate to this, but sometimes you get bored playing solo music or just always like playing by yourself. Sometimes it's fun and it's different when you are playing with a lot of people and you each have your own part and just hear that music come together. That's a different type of um, almost like it activates different side of my brain in a way, right? So being classically trained, I play both piano and pipa. Being classically trained in both, sometimes it's nice to just be in a bigger group in an orchestra where you can activate other type of your senses, like you can listen to or like look at the conductor, listen to people around you, and also read at the same time. I think that is definitely something that a lot of soloists might be missing, actually.
Well, it's always great to see your wonderful smile at rehearsal, and you've been
Thank
so
you.
helpful with all like sectionals and with the pluck strings too. So we're very thankful that you're with us. Um,
Thank you.
I'd like to know, just so that people get to know you better, what had
hmm
the greatest impact on you in your life?
In my life, well, to be honest, my parents are definitely one of the greatest impact because without them, I probably wouldn't have started this journey down music, or even discovered that music is actually one of my strong suit in life, right? My parents, I was actually born in Suzhou, China, that region is known for what we call pingtan. So that's a very specific where pipa is used, and senxian, basically a three-string instrument, is also like a plucked instrument that's also used. And they do those like pingtans, like kind of like TV show, olden day TV show. You can think of it that way, where they have episodes and people go to tea houses and they have this pipa player and there's another sentient player, usually a guy and a girl, and then they will be singing in those tea houses of like this greatest adventure or something, like almost like a TV episode. And then next day, same time every afternoon, you will go to that tea house again, have a tea, have some like sunflower seeds or nuts, and also listen to the next episode. And then this is very typical of that region and very unique to that region too. And it's sung in their dialect. And when I was younger, I was actually trained in that first. I was first trained in vocals and pipa at the same time, and then school got busy, so I was forced to kind of drop everything else and just pick one. And I think I picked pipa, and I just kept on going ever since then. So my parents definitely, I'm very thankful that they were even aware of such things when I was younger, to expose me to it in a way, because I was 5. I had no idea what I'm choosing, right, at that time. So I'm very thankful for that, definitely. And the other things that I'm very thankful for, and the other person I'm very thankful for, is probably my teacher, my pipa teacher, Liu Huilian. She is an amazing, amazing person. I say that with like every single like respect I ever had, because she is not just a teacher to me. She's not just a music teacher to me, because I don't appreciate her as much when I had my time with her, but afterwards I definitely feel like she was a mentor in a way. She taught me from when I was 9 all the way to when I was 18, and we would see each other pretty much every single week, if not more than like once per week, right? So she was definitely giving me a lot of life lessons too, like how to be a good human being, on top of like just pipa techniques and how to play a note, right? So she was definitely someone who also guided me in life to make me or mold me to the person I am today. So I'm definitely thankful for that. And the other thing I realized nowadays more than before was the fact that she also guided me on how to teach the next generation. She is definitely one of those teachers that are very, very like using her whole heart to teach a student, because it's not really a job anymore for her. It's more like she truly wants every single one of them to succeed and be the best pipa teacher, or sorry, the best pipa player there is. She taught me that way, which influenced me to teach my student the same way. So I'm actually very thankful for her to actually passing down this type of teaching passion and style onto whoever I teach nowadays. It doesn't matter if it's music or not.
That's great. So you'll be inspiring the next generation of pipa players.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, some fun questions. Like, what is your favorite food?
Favorite food? I have a lot of favorite foods, but with what I'm craving due to and not dare to eat due to coronavirus right now, it's probably sushi, because it's not cooked. But it's definitely one of those things that I miss and wish that I could just indulge right now. But I definitely have tons and tons of favorite food.
That's good. Yeah, I love sushi too. It's good. Okay, and do you have anything else to share with us?
I kind of want to share how I view music, especially in Toronto. I grew up. I'm in a very unique situation. I've always felt unique in a way that I started with Chinese music. I had the Chinese teachers in China when I experienced what it is to what's like to learn pipa in China as well as what's like to learn pipa here. My teacher is a very Chinese based teacher, the one I mentioned before. She is the Shanghai, not Shanghai. Well, she graduated from Shanghai Conservatory, but she also was one of the teachers from the Central Music Conservatory of Music in Beijing, and she was also one of the prof there. So I actually got a very traditional way of being taught how to play pipa. And then I had a Canadian teacher for piano. So it's two different teaching styles. It's also two different ways of thinking about music. And I got exposed to that. I started piano when I was 9. So I got exposed to both sides of music at a fairly young age. Simultaneously, I was taking lessons every single week. So when that was combined together, sometimes it formed something very creative and very unique. So ever since I was younger, I was very interested in how two of those worlds can fit together. Um, One of the things that fascinates me when I was a ranger, when I had my own band and I was a core arranger for the band, was how do we mesh traditional and also popular music together seamlessly so that it doesn't sound out of place? How do we mesh Western and Eastern together so that it sounds like it's supposed to be? And lastly, how do we mesh like world music, right? So original music independently like written, how do we mesh that with something that's already written? And or how do we get people's like just improv, right? So we get a structure and then we do a little bit of improv where each one of us kind of brings what we think is unique about, say, Eastern, like Chinese music, right? Chinese music is, when you listen to it, it's very, like, the style is very specific. And so it's the Persian music, which I have, like, interaction with. And so it's, like, a lot of, like, the Western music, the jazz, the blues. I've done a blue project and stuff like that. So it's very interesting to see how that music has no boundary. And music really reaches across all cultures and borders, and people kind of connect even when they don't quite understand it. And that's something that I find very fascinating because normally you need to know a bit of a language before you can sort of understand it, right? But music, you don't. You don't have to know what Chinese music is about for you to fully immerse yourself and enjoy it, right? So, like, to me, I think music is boundless in a way. It's full of creativity. It's a place where there is no right and wrong, and as long as you feel like it's the notes meshed together, then yeah, it's fascinating to me, and it's definitely something that I keep on exploring nowadays too. Yeah.
Right, especially multicultural Canada. I think it's the perfect place. You can learn so much from other cultures as well.
Absolutely, and there's so many different type of programs out there that Toronto have that always throwing in live music and things like that. That I think it's so worth to check it out because one, you are supporting local musicians, and two, it's because they are multicultural and also they bring their own things in a new way, and that's what's really unique about Toronto and making music here. Um, Everyone has their own influences in a way of music, and they're able to put together something an incredible program. So I would highly encourage people whoever lives in Toronto definitely to go out there and be open to live performances and not just the one that with words, but the ones without words, right? With pure instrumentalist, and it doesn't have to be like the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. It can be the Toronto Chinese Orchestra, or it can be like something small, like just 2, 3 people with really unique instrument, right? Just go out there for a night, and it's a very unique experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for sharing and also sharing something about yourself. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate this time, and people can actually get to know you, so it's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad to be here, and definitely with this time, I feel like everyone needs a bit of interesting things in their lives.
exactly. And I think it's important that people get to know our musicians behind the scenes as well. So I think it's
Absolutely.
yeah. So thank you, Wendy.
Thank you for the interview, Patty.